Hello, we're here. I was just trying to find an end to my purple yarn and I look like I got a mini skein here. So I'm going to try to wrap this up here and get it out of my way. Angie is letting her dogs out.
And no, I'm putting them away.
Oh, putting them away. Oh, that's
yes, they're being monsters.
Oh, you're putting them in kennels.
Yeah.
You're crating them up. Man, I got a whole mini skein when I pulled this out. Serious.
Oh, no.
I'm like, wow, okay. We're just going to keep winding as we say hello to Emma and Judy and Jody and Sherry and Melinda are here.
Hello,
I'm super excited to make this.
Yeah, me too.
I'm thinking this would be the type of project you could sell easily.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this would be a great craft fair project.
Yes. And that's when I'm looking kind of to the future, because I know that our little town is going to do another, craft thing. Like,
yeah.
At the end of the, what in the world? What? Why do I have two ends coming out?
Of the middle?
Of a loop. Look, I got a loop coming out of the center that's tied together even.
Oh.
What is going on?
Well, that makes things lovely.
I know.
Yeah, I see you're using brand new skeins of yarn.
Not really.
One. Oh no? Oh, okay.
No. Clearly this one's not new. I tied something together here.
Oh, okay.
So this one has been used for something. And the blue has really been used. So
I've got a whole box, a mishmash box of leftovers from different projects, and I'm going to try to use it up.
Yeah. Well, I had my basket of mixed stuff up here too, but then I decided I wanted to do this. I'm just going to do, you're going to do a scrap basket, and I'm going to do a 3-colored basket.
Oh, okay.
So mine's going to be these 3 colors.
That'll be pretty.
Yeah. And see, this has clearly been used, Angie. Clearly. I can't even find the end to this. Where is the end? Right here. Yeah. Okay. That's the fun of using up your stuff that's not brand new, right? Okay.
Oh, right. This is going to be a mess once I get into some. I just grabbed out some of the ones over here that were easy to find the ends of.
Right.
But once I get into that box and find all the stuff that's all,
You know what? You may be surprised. You look like you've got a lot of yarn there.
I have a ton of yarn here.
I mean, the ones that you're using.
Oh, yeah.
This like they're big amounts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I wonder if you'll even need any other yarns besides those.
I don't know. Well, I plan on making quite a big basket. And that's going to be the beauty of this project is everybody you can make this basket any size you want to.
Yeah.
You just stop your circle, small, or keep going until the circle gets as big as you want it to be before you start working up the sides.
Exactly.
So I plan on making mine, I don't know, probably this big.
Oh. Whoa. How big was it?
Well, it depends. Are you asking a man or a woman?
I know. Was that like 15 inches or was that, I don't know.
Depends on whether you're talking to a man or a woman.
Oh, boy. Linda has joined and Jennifer and Sean have joined. Melinda's using clearance blanket Ogos. See, that's what this called for. It called for, the one pattern that we like the handles.
Yes.
Called for a Bernat blanket Ogo, but then it also called for Bernat blanket, just regular blanket yarn. So one was an Ogo and one was a blanket yarn. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, I saw that Joanne's had all those on clearance. And then didn't Mikey have a video out recently about Ogos and how they're not going to be producing them anymore?
I have no idea.
I thought I saw that. I didn't watch it. I just saw the title.
Well, I think I saw somebody talked about they're not going to do the Ogos in the donut anymore.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
They're still going to make Ogo, but it's going to be more skein form.
Oh, see, and have you ever worked with the Ogos in the donut?
No, ma'am.
I have, and they're a little unwieldy when you first start them because they're like a big,
Right.
A
horseshoe?
horn of
plenty.
Like a horseshoe? Yeah, a horn of plenty. Yes, a cornucopia.
There you go.
But once you get, working with it, it's actually very nice to work with.
No, I have never. So, anyhow, here we go. You got 3 strands. You start with 3 strands.
Yep, we're starting with 3.
Yarn.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to be cakes. 3. That's what they were, right? They're going to be in a cake form now.
Oh, a cake. Well, cakes are nicer than skeins, I think. I prefer working with cakes.
Yeah, so they're going to be a cake, not a donut, not a skein, a cake.
Right.
A cake of Ogo. All right, so we have a 9mm hook. That puppy's big.
It's a big guy, yeah.
Mine's fluorescent orange. Look at that sucker.
Mine's like golden. Ooh,
fluorescent orange.
Golden.
And we're making a slip knot.
Yep.
I've never worked with multiple strands.
Oh, I have.
I have never. So this will be interesting.
Yeah, it's not all that fun.
Sean's got random yarn at Goodwill.
I don't love it, but
working with multiple. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're basically. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We're going to start with a chain of 4, correct?
Yeah, to make a ring.
To make our ring.
Unless you want to do a magic ring.
And if you want to, more power to you, but I'm not doing that business.
Oh, this is weird.
It takes some getting used to.
I have never worked with this much yarn in my hand before.
Hi, Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Emma, I didn't see the new chuck pins.
Oh, well, yeah. That popped out when I was at lunch today. I saw.
Oh, see, I looked this morning. I haven't looked so far this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, we're using a 9mm.
Remember the 9mm?
Mm-hmm. The 9mm.
And there's that Allen Gianna. I know. I'll get the chuck before I get the Allen, but. All right. So do we chain one?
Yep, we're going to chain one, and then we're going to put how many, like 8?
This one says 8, yeah.
Yep, we're going to put 8
single crochets
back into the ring.
That's a lot of yarn going to go in this.
Yes, it is. Well, you want this to be tight so that it is sturdy.
I know, but dang, this is fat.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to be slow.
Yes, me too.
Because this is a lot to manhandle.
Try working with a 15mm hook once.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I have. It's not fun.
Dang, I only got 4 and I'm struggling. This is hard.
It gets easier.
I hope so, because it's like, ugh. All right, I got 8. And you slip stitch.
And then slip stitch to your first.
And I already have a hair in there.
Well, of course, because that means it's homemade. Whoops, I don't have.
I don't even know where to go into here. Where do I go in? Right here? There. That looks good to me.
Looks good to me. And then you can pull on your strings to tighten up your donut if you need to.
Pull? I ain't got nothing to pull. I ain't got no hole either.
Good. Well, yours worked out great then.
Right? I got a little hole. But okay. Oh.
I kind of, now that I'm seeing these together, I kind of wish I had enough yarn to just keep with these 3 colors. This is really pretty.
I don't know that you're gonna run out. Actually,
I've got like a cranberry and a pink and a off-white.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like you got a ton of yarn there. That's why I was saying you might.
This pink, I just have this very small half thing of Heartland.
Yeah, you might not have to change though. I don't know. We'll see. All right.
Okay, so, and then I'm using this big pound of love, what's left of it, of this burgundy color, and it's already giving me fits and knotting. I love pounds of love and like, you know, the big skeins, the big, you know, with lots and lots of yardage on them for value purposes. But they're hell to work with.
Yikes.
Because
I've never used one.
Yeah.
I've got 2 Super Savers Red Heart, and I've got one. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. So,
okay,
that's what I'm working with.
So now we'll start our next, and we'll chain 1, and now we're going to put 2 single crochets into the same stitch.
Let go.
And then 2 into every stitch.
How do you get into the same stitch? You can't get into the same stitch.
You make a hole.
Where here he is. He's too tight.
That's what she said.
Yes, Sue, we are talking about tight holes.
Tight holes.
Lord have mercy. Lord help me.
Now, at this point, if you wanted to, rather than slip stitching in chain 1 at the beginning of each round, you could grab a stitch marker and then just work in continuous rounds. Do you know what I mean? But it's a matter of personal preference. Is it raining there today, Mindy?
It rained this morning.
It looks like it's going to storm here again.
It's supposed to. Oh, I lost one of my strands.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, no, that didn't come out right. How'd I lose my purple? Lost my purple.
It was funny. Mindy and I went and did the yarn crawl on Wednesday, and it was storming all around Michigan, and it seemed like we followed we followed the storm all day.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went.
How much was it raining on your way home after we parted ways?
Almost the whole way home.
Yeah, me too. Did you get sunshine when you got home?
Yes, I did. And in fact, I got home and my husband had cut the front yard. I was like, how did you have a chance to cut the front yard? He's like, oh, it wasn't raining here.
Oh, like after we left your house.
Yeah.
Did you see a rainbow?
Oh, Cindy, you're going to join in? Good.
I had a beautiful rainbow on my way.
No, I didn't see a rainbow.
I did. Had a beautiful rainbow on my way home because the sun was popping out in the west, you know.
Yes.
Still be. Anyhow, yeah, I had a beautiful rainbow.
All right, and then I'm back around. So I'm
certain you're back around. I'm not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm going to slip stitch into my first single crochet. Actually, I might grab a stitch marker. No, I'm not going. I'll just do it round for round. Let me know when you're ready.
We should have 16 stitches.
Yes.
Let me make sure, because I think I have an extra stitch here. I think that I should have not started my first 2 where I started them, but.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh, right. Melinda's getting her roof redone. Sounds like a herd of angry elephants. That's funny.
I got 6.
That's a big project.
Okay. And slip stitch into here.
Sue, didn't you get your roof redone last summer?
This is fat and chunky. All right.
Okay, then we're gonna chain one, and we're gonna put. Now we're gonna do every other is going to be an increase. So in our first, the same chain or the same stitch you slip stitched into, we'll do 2.
Now, see, that's not work. That's what I did the last time. That didn't work for me. So I want to see something. 1, 2.
Well, you can do it the opposite. I mean, if you want to put 1 there and 2 in the next one, it's the same difference. Oh man, hail destroyed your roof? That's crazy.
So I can't go in the exact same stitch where I slip stitched into, or I get too many stitches if I go in every single one. I got to go to the next stitch.
Okay.
I just
do what you got to do.
And it says 2 single in the next single crochet.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what's working for me.
Okay.
I ended up with an extra stitch at the end last time. So I kind of skipped that last stitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know how I ended up with, I just counted my stitches and I ended up with too many too.
That's probably because you did your first 2 in the same one instead of skipping and going to the next one.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got 18 stitches instead of 16.
Yeah. Got to go to the next stitch.
Oh, okay.
That's what I had to figure out.
Okay. Well, I'll just skip that one. And
That's what I did. I skipped and just made it work. But now this round, I'm like, okay, let me start 1 stitch over. And I think this one's going to be fine. Let's see. I'm not there
okay,
yet.
so are we going to start with 2 stitches in the first? 2 in the first? Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't start where the slip stitch is.
Right.
I went to the next stitch.
So this time we should have how many stitches at the end?
24.
Yep. So 2 in the first, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next. It'll be our pattern.
2 singles and 1 single. Yeah, the rain was insane the other day.
It was crazy. Torrential.
Yes.
Torrential.
And Angie was driving for part of it. And then we went back to Angie's house. And then we separated into our own cars because the last 2 places were on my way home. And so we drove separately. And then I had to drive in the rain then. And that's when it was the worst, I think.
Yes. It definitely, there were cars pulled over on the side of the highway because they couldn't see.
We were like, what's going on? Did somebody get in a wreck there or something?
I think
Angie?
they just couldn't see.
I think that's true. It was crazy. But we made it and we were safe and we survived. Emma was the one that messaged that morning and said, have fun, but be careful of your weather. She knew what our weather was going to be like.
We did have fun and I bought like crazy. Did you look at your stash when you got home?
I have, and most of it fit in my little bag.
Well, good for you.
Most of it fit in my bag.
Mine did not. Maddie came over yesterday and I showed her what I got and she was like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I know. Now that I look at it all in one place, I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, mine fit in one bag except for that first thing we bought, those cottons that were in that bundle.
Oh, yes.
Those didn't fit in my little green bag. So we got this cute little green bag. That's your yarn crawl bag.
Do you want me to get it so I can show them?
You can if you want.
Okay, yeah, it's right. I just set it right in the other room.
Okay, mine's out in the other room
Hold on
too.
just 1 second.
So you get this little green bag, and then there's a place where you can collect pins for every store that you go to. And I didn't get the bag last year. Angie did, and then so I was jealous. So this year I had to do it. So I got my bag. There it is. See?
Yeah. So here's the bag, middle of the mitten yarn crawl, and then there's a little ball of yarn for each
store
place where you put your pins that you go. So we made it to 6 stores. We actually made it to 7 stores, but
one was closed.
Yes, at 10 minutes after 3.
Yeah, we were like, "Why are you closed?"
Yeah, that was insane.
Did you make it back around yet?
I did.
Okay, you slip stitched and ready to go.
Not quite yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there.
You have 24 stitches this time.
I don't know. Let me see.
Do you have 24?
I do. I do have 24.
Okay, so that worked. Okay.
Okay, so now what do? We're going to chain 1.
You chain 1, and you do 2
into the next stitch.
Into the next.
Okay.
2 into the next.
Wait, 2 into the next, and
yep,
not 2 into
2
not single, 2 into 2 stitches.
No, 2 single crochets in the next stitch.
Yep.
And then you'll do 1 in the next.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 in the next.
Okay, and that'll be our repeat. 2,
yep.
1, 1.
2, 1, 1. Yes.
Okay.
2, 1, 1. Yep. Okay. This is fat and chunky.
It is. It's, I thought we were going to be flying through this at lightning speed because it was all going to be single crochets, but it does take a little bit to manipulate this big hook and all this yarn.
You gotta finagle this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Finagle.
It's gonna be cool though. I'm excited about this.
Yeah. This would be easier if my yarns were all coming out of the skein instead of being wrapped around the skein.
Yeah, and I think that's
now I gotta unwrap them every time I need more yarn.
I think like a prepared person who, as we all know, is not me, would have possibly like wound all their yarn up into balls rather than try to work out of half-empty skeins.
I think it will be fine for me as soon as I get them actually coming out of the inside of the skein where mine are wrapped around them.
Right.
Anyhow, that's just my take on it.
But I was on a mission, and I'm going to make a yarn video. I was supposed to do it this morning, but I was dealing with some other issues. I had some business to attend to today. Today was my day to attend to business. And I didn't get a chance to make my yarn video. But I made an effort this year at every store that we went to. I tried to concentrate on getting yarns that were local, like Michigan yarns.
That was your goal.
That was my goal this year.
I just tried to find things that were unique.
Right. And I was really impressed. You guys should check out, it was a very, because hand-dyed hanks of yarn go for, the average is about $30 a hank.
Mm-hmm.
And we found a place here up by me in a store in Midland, and they were doing a trunk show of a hand dyer. And their hanks were only $18 of superwash merino. And they were very pretty.
So we have seen them before.
We have seen that company, Reaction?
Yes, we have.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Okay, do you remember when I bought the little mini hank in the test tube?
Yes. Oh, that was them?
That too got them two guys.
Okay.
Yep, that's them. That's Reaction. I just didn't remember their hanks being so inexpensive when we saw them.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Festival. I didn't remember them being so inexpensive, but they were. And they came with a stitch marker.
Yes, they did. A very cute stitch marker.
Jennifer, I've got 2 coming out of the skein now. That purple one's going to take me forever, though. Because I literally, when I just pulled it out, I pulled out a whole, like, mini skeins worth of yarn. That one was brand new.
Okay, so I'm back around.
I'm almost there. I got like 2.
I really like the way these colors look. Aren't those pretty?
They are pretty. I like the pink color in there.
Yes, I do too. This is Heartland yarn. Have you ever used this? The Lion Brand Heartland?
Yes.
It's very nice acrylic.
Yes.
I really like it.
What did I make with that? I don't even remember. I made something with it, and it was very nice. Okay, I'm back around. Look at mine. What do you think?
Oh, I love it.
Hang on. It's looking more... What's it looking? I don't know.
I love it.
Green or something. All right, so we chain 1. And I'm going to assume that we do 2 in the first one.
Yep.
And then 1 in the next 3.
Okay, and that'll be our repeat.
Yep. So 2 singles in the first one. Oh, and the blue has a knot in it too. I've tied the blue together at some point. Okay, there's 2 in my first, and I'm ready to go.
So Mindy knows that I am the master of chaos. And
I'm not saying anything.
She comes, well, I told her, I knew she was coming, and I said, I briefly thought about cleaning the house because I knew she was coming, and then I thought better of it. And I thought, Mindy, she knows me. It's fine. And so she comes in and she looks at my pile of projects out in the living room.
Yep.
Piles of projects.
Like the whole entire front of the couch, just everywhere.
Yeah, just everywhere. Yeah.
Yep.
She's like, so how do you even decide what you're gonna do? Yep. And I said, well, it's organized chaos. And she's like, I'm like, okay, no, it's just regular chaos. Just complete chaos.
Yeah. Like, how do you pick a project from that? I mean, how do you pick a project from that?
Well, I get sidetracked. So most of them are projects that I don't actively work on.
Just like, they're just like laying there.
Yeah, they're just laying there.
They're just laying there in the pile.
I'll eventually get back to them.
They're waiting for Angie to someday go, I'm working on you.
And I have to tell you, guess what I did? I told you that circulo yarn, the stuff I grabbed an extra cake of when we were in Midland.
Mm-hmm.
That I had been wanting. I had started. I was
more when you got home.
Yeah. Well, because initially I bought 2 cakes of it last week when I went and got our passports and bags. And my initial thought I was going to make a summer top because it's Brazilian organic mercerized cotton.
Yeah.
And so thought I'll make a summer top. So I grabbed 2 cakes of it. And then I started looking at patterns, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll make a summer skirt. And then I started looking even more, and then I'm like, no, I'll make a summer dress. So I found a pattern that I really liked for a summer dress, and there were 2 problems with it. I found it on Ravelry. The first problem was that the pattern alone was $11.
Ooh.
Now, I'm all for someone who creates a pattern being compensated for their work.
But
$11 for one pattern, that's a little bit steep, I
think.
Who
are you? Melinda, yours isn't staying flat. It's probably how you're doing your increases.
Oh, it's not staying flat. Uh-oh. Yeah, it should be flat at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Is it curling inward? So, and then the second problem with it was that it had an open back.
Oh.
And I can't do that because I have to wear a bra. I'm not one of these people who's lucky enough to
No, right.
be able to not have the girls reined in. Oh, it's waving. Okay, it sounds to me like you might have too many increases. Hi, Francesca.
Francesca's hanging out today?
Yeah. Oh, hi, Lisa. Lisa, Mindy brought me my earrings.
I
Thank you
did.
so much.
Yes, she has the earrings.
I got the earrings. Those are very cute.
I'll tell you what I didn't bring home, though. What didn't I bring home, Angie?
Oh, I know. I'm going to get read the riot act for this one.
I got a couple things. I'm going to just call you out on here.
Uh-oh, what else did I do? I did something else?
Well, first of all, what didn't I bring home? I didn't bring home
the diamond painting. I know.
Because you know why?
Because Angie hasn't touched it since the retreat.
Yeah. So she's like, would you mind if I kept it another month and I'll actually put some drills on it? Because she apparently hasn't been diamond painting really at all. So I said, sure, keep it another month and put some drills on it. Even if you just do a little section or something.
Yep.
Do something, right? So here's the other funny Angie story, and it goes back.
What did I do?
This goes back to the chaos. Goes back to the chaos.
I was going to go there. I know where you're going.
Okay.
Go there. Go ahead.
So Angie cannot cake up any yarn currently because she cannot find the cone to her ball winder. And I'm like, how can you lose the cone to your ball winder? Well, I saw my craft room. I understand now how you can lose.
I saw my craft room.
Yes, yes. So I understand how the cone can go missing in the craft room. So
Mindy walks into my craft room and she goes, so when is Jody coming?
Yep, that's exactly the first thing that goes out of my mouth. Yep. Yeah. So I brought my ball winder up. So
because I have a project that I'm trying to work on and I can't because I can't pick up my yarn.
Right. Yes. So I took my ball winder up and that's all I took. I did not take my Swift because I know Angie has a Swift.
Yep.
So this is how we got to go in the craft room because she had to go and get the Swift. It's in a box, in a long box because she has the same type that I do. And she brings it out and she dumps it out of the box and she doesn't have the dowels that go.
The pegs.
Yep. She had like 2 or something.
Yep.
And I'm like, Angie, I said, how did you lose your dowels? And she goes, I don't know. She said, maybe I lost them on my way into the retreat or out of the retreat, back to the car. And I said, is it possible that they're just in the craft room? Like you just took the box and just, put it in the craft room and they like fell out? And she goes, I don't know, maybe. I said, well, let's go look. And that's when we went in the craft room. And I'm like, where was the box?
We did find 2 of them.
We did, yes. And I think if you moved a couple more things in there, you'd probably find the other 2, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
So we stuck markers.
She had her little skinny metal ones for her blocking board. We tried to use those. Those were a little wobbly. But we did manage to get 2 of the hanks caked up.
Yep.
And the last one was just giving us fits. And so Angie was just like, I'll just do this later by hand. And she looks at Jeff and she goes, Jeff, I'm leaving this here for now. I'll clean all this shit up when I get home. Because she was going to have to cake up that last one by hand. I mean, it was on the Swifts, which would have made it easier. But she was going to have to just do it all by hand. Did you do it when you got home?
No, it's still sitting there. It's on the counter now. Jeff's got to help me. It's going to be a 2-person job because that yarn, it was one of those hanks where the yarn gets all twisted in. And so I need him to ball it while I fiddle with it. I tried to do it, but I just couldn't.
Because you just have to weave it in and out your ball and whatnot.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Oh, Deborah wants to know the pattern, what website you're on, because I don't even have it.
Well, the pattern that I'm following right now is Bernat. It's through Yarn Inspirations, and it's called Bernat Marled Stripes Crochet Basket. I think when I put it in last week, I put it in the chat last week, and I put marbled, but it's marled because it's going to have a marled look when it's done. So.
Oh, Rhonda's here. Hi, Rhonda.
Rhonda just popped in. All right, what row are
Lisa,
we on?
You don't have to get us bracelet. Well, you don't have to get me a bracelet. That's very, very generous of you.
So we're on round 6, where we're gonna chain 1.
Yep.
Oh, I held this yarn way too long in my hand, and it got all sweaty.
Oh, great.
No, I'm all stiff and sweaty. I shouldn't have done that. I had it wrapped around my pinky, and it got all.
Okay. That's what he said.
Oh.
Get it? I'm all stiff and sweaty.
Oh my gosh. So after our chain 1, we're gonna do 2 single crochets in the next stitch.
Yep.
2 in the next. Ugh.
And then 1 in the next 4.
And
correct?
1 in the next 4. Yep, we're up to the 1 in the next 4. And then 2, and then 4 separate ones. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Lynn.
4.
Stained glass seahorse. That sounds interesting.
What's a stained glass seahorse?
I don't know. She got a stained glass seahorse from Temu. I almost placed my very first order from Temu yesterday, but I couldn't find, because I don't know if the sites are different in Canada than they are in the US, but Jody sent me a link to diamond painting storage containers. They're the big Tic Tac containers for a really good price.
Oh.
Yeah.
You found those on Temu?
Yeah, Jennifer, that's what the flat circle. Yeah, right, Jennifer. Exactly. I'm just listening to Mindy. I'm just doing what Mindy do. She's just doing the flat circle increase rule.
Right.
Where you just in your second increase is where you, or the stitch after your increase is where you increase for the next round.
What? The stitch after your increase is what?
Okay. For each subsequent round, if you increase on the next, you increase on the stitch after the increase for each round. And that's how it grows. So you don't have to count.
Okay.
Or is it the last stitch in the increase, Jennifer? I can't remember now. Basically, we're just making a big old circle. You're going to increase your space between your increase is going to get bigger for every round by 1 stitch.
Yeah.
Until you get to the diameter that you want your basket to be. So you can make it as big as you want.
Yeah. I don't know how big I want mine. I don't know.
Well, I want mine big enough to be able to put yarn in it.
I don't think I want it to be huge, but...
Oh, Molly's on her
Oh, yep.
local yarn crawl.
Yep.
Nice.
She messaged me this morning. She said it's like 4 stores or something. It's not a
fun.
If I'm not mistaken, but
we were at a store on Wednesday, and there was a husband there with his wife at the yarn crawl. So I asked him. I said, "Are you?" Yeah, I said, "Are you here by choice, or were you dragged along?" He's like, "Oh," and she said, "Oh no, it was his idea. This was a birthday gift for me." And
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's so nice and selfless and thoughtful.
Not
And then
really.
he says, but then he goes, yeah, but there's a brewery in it that we're going to. So it's
There's a
not.
brewery involved.
So it's not all that selfless.
Oh, so you're doing it backwards, Jennifer. You're doing all your singles first and then your two together. I see.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way you do
No.
it.
No, not really.
It ends up the same.
No. That store was funny. That one was hard to find.
Oh my gosh, it was like going on a treasure hunt.
It was. So it was one we had to travel about an hour to get to. So we went to the first one we went to was right in Angie's town. And then we went to one that was about an hour away. And, MapQuest it, MapQuest, you know what I mean? Google.
I still say MapQuest.
Googled it, whatever, And then we got to the little town, and it's a little small town with like a main street. So you got shops on both sides of the street, and you just park in the road. And so it's supposed to be on the right. And we're like, okay, it's on the right. So
we see the sign on the door.
Yep, we saw a sign. Finally, saw a sign, and we go trucking in there. And the guy's like, "Are you looking for the yarn store?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "This isn't it. It's like a coffee shop." Oh, okay. We're at a coffee shop. All right. He goes, "The yarn store is across the street in the VFW." And we're like, "Okay." So we head out. We're like, the door's marked and everything. Signage and everything said it was the yarn store, and it wasn't. So we head out and we go across the street, and we're looking. First of all, we don't see any VFW.
Nope.
And we're walking like up the block, and we're like, then we see an American Legion on the corner. And we're like, American Legion, VFW, okay. And we get to the corner. We actually have to turn the corner, and there was a doorway into the American Legion, which is the yarn store.
The yarn store.
It was like the strangest thing.
It was very strange.
Well, I made it back to my next row.
Oh, I've already started my next row.
Oh, you already started your next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all those people who don't know, then you just chain one, and again you do 2 in your next one. And then this time you're going to do 5 singles. And then 2 in the next, and then 5 more.
Mostly making pottery, weaving. Another's a bead store with some yarn. Finished store number 1 that I don't like. Got a cool free pattern. Oh, cool. 108 heat index, Molly. That sounds terrible.
It's not nice here, but it's not that bad.
No, it's warm here today. Our air conditioning hasn't turned off all day.
Mm-hmm. Dale and I talked about it. It's really not the temperature today. It's the humidity that's so good.
Yes. Days like today make me feel bad for my husband who has to work outside. Or anybody who has to work outside for that matter.
I'm trying to change my camera angle here. Because you can't ever see what I'm doing because I hold it in my lap too closely. I'm a lap crocheter.
Have you ever, usually what happens to me when I buy especially like hand-dyed yarns, I really love how it looks in the hank. And then when you work it up, it's not as spectacular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
That happens to me. Well, I have the opposite thing happening with my little dress project. I liked it in the cake, but I didn't love it. But now as I'm working on it, I'm loving how the colors are coming together.
I'm contemplating getting out like one. Yeah, it's super humid here. Yeah. One thing to show, because we're probably both going to do videos and show our haul.
Yes, we are.
We could get one thing out and show one thing.
Did I not do my increase? What did I do there? I forgot to do my increase.
I don't know what you did. I'm not there. I don't know.
I forgot to do my increase.
For some reason, the purple yarn wants to keep wrapping around the other two and getting like tangled up in them. I don't know why.
Are they all just acrylics?
Yeah, maybe it's because it's the one that's still wrapped around the skein. And
well, if you're going to show one thing, I'm going to show one
and I'm
thing.
pulling it out a little bit at a time, so it's kind of twisting around. Yeah, I don't know what I would show. What's your favorite thing? That's what we should.
Oh, I'm not going to show my favorite. I'm just going to show my dress that I started.
Oh, I thought you were going to show something from the yarn crawl.
Well, it is from the yarn crawl. I got that yarn at the yarn crawl.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Lynn, I got quite a haul. Quite a haul. So this is my one that I'm loving. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Ooh,
it's this.
Excuse you.
Circulo Whoopie yarn. It's a sport weight cotton. It's a mercerized Brazilian virgin cotton. And that's how it looked in the ball, which is pretty. And I love all those colors, the brown and the orange and the red. But I really like the way it's looking as I'm working on it.
Oh, that is pretty.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
So this was the dress?
Yeah, it's going to be a dress. This is like the top. It's weird. It has you start with the bodice. It is going to be a tank dress. So we're going to add triangular straps off the top, and then the skirt will come down the bottom.
So you had to go find a different pattern?
Yeah. Yep.
Different pattern.
Yep.
Yes,
I found one
Linda,
that I
this
like.
is a little tough on the hands. Yes, it is like, ooh.
My thumb is starting to get a little bit, yeah.
Mine's my third finger on my left hand. Like
I think it's because the hook is so big.
Like the one that guides my yarn really is the one that's kind of taking the beating. My right
and I did when I was reading about these, I did read that for best results for a sturdy basket, you should try to have tight stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I do have a picture of the dress, Lynn. Hold on just 1 second. I have to get out of here and go somewhere else.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
I don't want to lose my spot, though, so I'm not sure. I'm at 33.47. Oh, I'm going to have to...
Thank you, Lynn. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, I'm going to have to go all the way back to the...
Yeah, my hook hand doesn't hurt at all. It's my left hand that's holding the yarn that's hurting.
Oh, it's your left hand. Mine is my hook thumb.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Because I think
Hold on, it's coming.
my hook kind of hits my finger, and I'm holding the yarn super tight, so it's, you know.
So this is the dress.
Oh. All the way to the bottom, all that lacy stuff all the way to the bottom? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a slip. I'm going to get like a slip dress to wear underneath it, just a cotton slip dress. Which I think will be just fine.
Yeah, I changed it up a little bit. I got a purple and a blue and a yellow, not a pink. I'm moving on to my next round.
Are you really? You're back already?
Mm-hmm. Well, are you ahead of me?
No, I'm still at 5.
Oh, I'm starting my 6s.
It's on YouTube. It's Anu Crochet is the name of the channel.
I did a sweater by her.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I didn't like the sweater, and it's not the fault of the pattern, it was the yarn I used.
Oh.
I think Sue did that one too, or started it with me. I think.
Let me see if I can. Let me go back there and see if I can see what it's called again. Hold on, let me slip stitch here. Which a free YouTube pattern is always better than an $11 Ravelry pattern, right?
Right.
It's called the Petal Dress Crochet Tutorial.
Ooh, I am down to where all of my skeins are coming out. All my yarn's coming out of the skeins.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So my husband this week has decided to drive me nuts again.
Oh dear. What's he doing?
Well, there's 2 other foremen that are off this week, so he has had to go into work early. And there was a big scandal at the city with one of the other departments where the guys were kind of abusing overtime. And you know how it is in the world where one person screws up and everyone has to pay?
Oh.
So where it used to be when that would happen, he would get paid overtime if he went in early and, stayed till his regular quitting time. But because these guys ruined it, now he has to leave after his 8 hours. So he's been coming home early every day this week. Which, cuts into my day a little bit. Oh, and for the first time, when we went on our little trip up north, for the first time, he started talking about retirement.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't let him.
I know.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, in a couple years, I'm going to think about retiring. Like, a couple years? No, I need more warning than that. I need more time.
Right.
So I've never made one before, but this is probably how you would make like pot holders and stuff.
I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, this is pretty much how a lot of hats start.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep.
It's just this circle.
Yep.
Circle that increases and gets bigger along the way. So it will start to make sides when we stop increasing. Then it'll
Right.
start to go up the sides. Now, I know the one pattern, mine's waving a little bit. It's a little, but not bad.
Is it?
Yeah, just
Mine isn't waving yet. Mine's still pretty flat.
Mine's just a little, just, it's fine. It's okay. This one does it too. The round before you start to go up, they do a round of single crochets in the back loop only.
Right, and that gives it kind of a bend.
Yeah, and it makes a little ridgy there.
Right.
Now I forgot. Did I do all 6 or did I? Where am I at? Where's my increase? I can't even find the one that's increased. Oh, I just did it. That's why. Jeez Louise, it's right there. Okay.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could get our base done and start going up our sides today. But we might not, because it depends on how big you're going to make your base.
Right? Like this is the last called for round, the one that has 6 single crochets.
Oh, is it? See, I want my basket bigger than this.
Yeah, this is the last called for in the pattern. But
yeah, that's not very big. That's like the size of my hand. What would you use that for? I suppose you could put like a pot in it. Like you could make a plant pot.
That is true. And mine's got a little wave to it, but I think it'll be just fine when it's a bit bigger than my hand. I mean, see how big mine is?
Oh, yeah. I think because you crochet looser than I do.
I don't know. This is tight, Angie.
Is it?
It calls for 13. Does it, Melinda? Okay, let me go back and look. Oh, yes, it does. Continue in this manner. Increase 8 single crochets evenly around the next 5 rounds as established. What the heck does that mean? Just means go until you've got 8.
No, it means that you're not gonna. It means
continue in this manner. Increase 8 single crochet evenly around the next 5 rounds.
Right. So what it's saying is you're not gonna stick to the same schedule. You're gonna only increase 8 stitches per round, regardless of how many stitches there are.
Well, how do you figure that out?
Well, you just pick one and put 2 in there. Because what's happening is if you continue in the same pattern that we're doing it, see how it's starting to turn into side?
Again.
Yes.
Or something.
So I'm going to, at the start of the next round, I'm going to start doing my increases in a different spot.
Okay, well, I'm back here. So how many rows was that? That was 8. Gotta do 5 more rounds.
Increasing by 8 every.
So we have to do 2 8 times. Oh, look, Melinda has figured it out. Melinda, I'm going to write that down. Melinda figured it out. Look at her go.
I'm not even looking at the pattern, so I'm going by what you say.
Row 9. Oh, wait. Row 9 has 7 increases. Wait. We just finished. Hang on. We just finished row 8. Okay, so row 9, she says increase 7 times. I get it. And then row 10, increase 8. And row 11, increase 9 times. Do 9 increases.
So if this next row we're going to increase 7 times, that's
row 12, you increase 10.
and row 13 is 11 singles. It's for 72 stitches. So you're just going to have to pay attention to your increases. Does it matter where you put your increases? I don't suppose it does.
80, 88, 96, 104 is the last one for 13. You should have a total of 104 at the end. Okay, thank you, Melinda, for doing some math for us.
The 2 single crochets in between it stays the same.
What? The 2 single crochets in between it? What's that mean? No, it's not going to be square. That's what we're trying to avoid, is it not?
Yeah, we're trying to avoid it.
Or an octagon.
Yeah, we're try to keep it round. Try to keep it round.
Yeah. I mean, mine just has a little point here and there.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that if you put the start putting the increases in the centers of here, that will be eliminated. But,
or even if you just did, how would you keep track of it though?
You would almost have to just tally off and count. Because if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then but I have 8 sides. Your 2 single crochet in the same stitch, then increase the singles in each row. Right. How many sides do you have right now? Because I have 8 sides.
Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it looks like I've got about 8 too.
So if we're only going to be increasing 7 times in the next round, how do you pick which side you're not going to increase?
I don't know.
Because then won't it start to get lopsided?
I don't know. Not increases, singles. So what? You do 10. We do on the next row. We do 7 singles, and then 2.
Oh, I see what she's saying. Not 7 increases. You do 7 singles
7
and then
singles.
2.
Yes,
okay.
7 singles and 2.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Increase. So we're still increasing by 8 stitches total for each round.
Yeah.
We're just changing the location.
We're
just changing the location of where our increase is going to be.
Are we?
Well, yeah, because we're going to do 7 singles.
No, I don't think that's even what she meant.
Oh.
I just think she meant that the next one is the 2.
Oh, the 7.
It's the 2 in the next stitch,
so
and 7 single. We're doing the same thing. We're
doing the same thing.
Yeah,
okay.
We're just adding one more each time.
Yeah, okay.
One more single each time.
Gotcha. So,
Mhm.
okay, so continue
Woo!
with the plan. Continue
There
with
we
the
go. Continue with
plan.
what we're doing. But we're going to just add an extra single in this row. Oh boy. Okay.
That was a lot of going around
Yes, it was.
to come up with it. Keep doing what you're doing. So do you have any big weekend plans?
No. All I have to do is I have to go out to Okemos and pick up some iris. Remember when I went to the iris farm? I talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Went to an iris farm and we picked out some new iris. Well, they're ready.
Oh.
So it's time to go pick them up. Yeah.
Okemos isn't far from you, though, is it?
Not about a half an hour.
I have my youngest grandmonster's birthday party on Sunday. And I'm super excited because I called her the other day to ask what she wanted for her birthday. And guess what her answer was?
I have no idea.
She wants arts and crafts supplies.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes. Because every time they come over, Granny has crafts for them to work on.
I see.
So
my grandkids don't ever get to work on crafts because Dale has them outside doing stuff.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. I'm almost to the point where I can't talk a lot because I got to count to 7 now.
Well, it's actually very easy. If you your increase goes into the second stitch of your previous row's increase.
Hang on, what?
The increase goes in the second stitch of your previous row's increase, so you don't really have to count.
Second stitch of the increase. Oh, yeah, there's my increase.
Yep.
I just did 1 stitch there. Here's, okay, now I do 2 there.
Yeah.
Well, that is so wise.
You know what? Sometimes I can surprise you.
Wise of you.
Sometimes I can surprise you.
Somebody's asking when we're going to put out our announcement for the retreat. It is.
Well, I had asked you about that yesterday.
I know. We didn't decide a time.
We didn't. And
so we should just pick a time right now.
Let's just pick a time. Yeah.
What time do you guys want to do it? I just recorded a video earlier.
Yep. So did I. It's ready to go. So whatever time
Mine's
you tell me.
Mine's not quite ready. I was making a cute little thumbnail for it earlier. So then I have
I haven't done that. I probably should do that too now.
I have to edit and upload and all that fun stuff. But...
Oh, earlier is better, Francesca says.
Earlier is better. She's got a wedding shower. Is 9 o'clock too early, Angie?
No, 9 o'clock is perfect.
Mind do 9 o'clock?
Sure, that's perfect.
Okay. It's 9 o'clock, folks. 9 o'clock. How's that? Be there or be square.
That's right.
So we keep losing branches off our crabapple tree.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
So one was in the yard, and Dale was like, well, I'm going to wait until Thursday when the grandkids are here, and they can help cut it up and haul it and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we all ended up out there, including me. And
you don't sound thrilled about that.
No, I wasn't thrilled about it. Mm-mm. No, it was hot.
It was too hot. Yeah, it was
hot.
really hot.
It was work. It was, all that stuff. So I was out there anyhow helping. And the first thing he says is, guess what? There's another branch that's broken. So he had to get up there and cut down another branch. And it was another huge, huge branch.
Now, was that you that was saying that you guys eat your crab apples?
Yeah, you can eat our crab apples. Yeah.
I have never ever heard of eating crab apples.
No, they're
No.
actually pretty good. We actually were nibbling on them yesterday, the ones that were on the ground, because some of them were almost ripe.
Wow, I've never, because we have a crab apple tree, and then we have three regular apple trees, but one of them doesn't produce very prolifically. It does, but the apples aren't that great. But our apple trees are just loaded, like the branches are just drooping and hanging because they're so heavy.
That's why I think these are falling off.
Oh, Melinda said they make great jelly. Crab apples.
That's why I think they're falling off. Because they're so loaded they're so loaded that they just can't do it. So they can't handle it.
My grandpa used to make, speaking of making things out of weird, what I would think of as a weird thing, my grandpa used to make dandelion wine.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That just sounds disgusting to me.
Yeah, I've heard of that though. I used to have some neighbors that would do that. Make dandelion wine.
So do you use the flower or the stem or what?
I don't even know.
I just know we talked about it, but I mean, I was little. I don't really.
No idea. No idea.
Yep, it was fun in the car the other day. I got to show Mindy where Jeff and I met.
Yeah.
And everywhere I used to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not going to be a project that I'm going to be able to sit there and go to town on for hours.
No.
My thumb is really.
I know.
I need to do thumb exercises or something. My thumb's getting a cramp.
I'm telling you, mine is the yarn coming through my left hand. It's rubbing too much or something. Yep. What makes good jelly?
Crab apples.
Oh.
My Grammy used to have a pear tree, and I loved having a pear tree.
We have a pear tree.
As kids, we had a plum tree. That was fun.
We have a pear tree, and it actually has a lot of pears on it.
I love pears. Pears are probably my favorite fruit.
Right? Melinda, let's not count anymore, right? That would be
Yeah, I've heard that too, Deborah, that you can use the greens for salad, dandelion greens.
Mm-hmm.
Man, sometimes you go to restaurants and order a salad, and I feel like that's what they give you is a bunch of weeds.
Me too. I can't stand it. My family makes fun of me because I don't like all that stuff. But I don't like spinach. I don't like spring mix. I don't like any of that stuff.
See, I can't do iceberg lettuce because of my IBS, but so I have to do romaine. I like romaine, and that's about it. I don't like all that fancy lettuce.
I don't like romaine. I don't like any of it. I am just an iceberg girl. I don't like all that other stuff. So I get made fun of. What do you eat? I'm like, well, stuff that doesn't look like I just picked it out of my yard.
Well, you do need to eat more vegetables. That's true.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, Mindy. Melinda.
Good without. Oh my goodness! You just pulled out the Melinda card.
I just Melinda'd you.
Oh my God. The only other person that does that is Dale. Now that's saying something. God.
Remember we were talking about the at the retreat how we reached a new level of our relationship when I peed with the door open.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Peed with the door open.
Our discussions Wednesday, we reached another new level of our relationship.
No, we're not talking about that.
No, we're not going to talk about it. No, we're definitely not talking about it. But it was a new level.
That was funny. Sorry, we're laughing at our inside joke. Can't help it. It was funny. Oh gosh. You can guess. You can just guess.
Yeah, use your let your imagination run wild.
And if you let your imagination run wild enough, you probably hit it on the Dale has been outside today working on a saw. So
building or fixing?
Fixing. So when we moved in here, the builder guy who lived here left a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So these two big saws were one of them. Table saw, whatever, So circular, the radial arm saw thing.
Yeah.
So he left all that stuff here. And Dale's been using them, except the one saw, I believe it's considered the table saw, I believe, has been a little wonky.
Okay.
So he is out there figuring that it needs a new bearings. Needs new bearings.
Speak of the devil, Jeff just pulled in the driveway.
So he is tearing this thing apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Tearing it apart. And he thought it was going to be fairly easy to tear it apart and put these new bearings in, but he's found he has to take the whole thing apart.
Of course he does.
Yeah, he has taken the whole thing apart. I messed this up. I got to go back a little bit. Yep, he's had to take the whole thing apart. He's got it off the stand. He's, it's all just torn apart.
Lynn, you have a bearded dragon?
She's got all kinds of lizardy things.
Wow.
You didn't know that about Lynn?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Ooh, sassafras tea sounds delicious, Paula.
Angie got some tea the other day, and I was like...
I got blueberry hibiscus.
I don't drink tea.
I love tea.
Don't drink tea. So he's out there in the garage today messing with this saw. He's got screws and nuts and pieces and parts everywhere, and I'm just like, let's see if it all goes back together properly.
That's the fun of taking stuff apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so fun when you get it back together and you got extra parts left over.
Right?
Paula, we are making baskets. I'm making a scrap basket. Not a basket to put my scraps in, but a basket out of scraps.
And however, you haven't really gotten into much of your scraps yet. You just got 3 skeins, just like I do.
3. Yep, exactly. I'll get to the end of them.
Yeah. So yesterday we had a little episode with one of the little darling grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
The little princess herself.
Okay.
Yeah. So she has decided she likes to be on the tractor.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but I also think it also is her way of thinking she's going to get out of doing anything out there. She can just sit there on the tractor and look cute. But then she kept playing with it and playing with it. And finally I was like, get off the tractor. And she sat there, like totally ignored me. I said, get off the tractor. And she continued to play. And so I got loud and I yelled at her. I said, get out. Right?
And how old is this grand monster?
6.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have
erector
one of
sets,
those.
right, Lynn? Erector sets, yes. So
Yep,
when I
I have
yelled
one
at
of
her,
those who is also a princess.
then when I hollered at her a little louder to get down, I said, get down. She turned around and she looked at me and said, "You're not the boss of me."
Oh, no, she did
Oh,
not.
oh yes, she did.
Oh, that would
That
not
did
fly in
not
this
go.
granny's
That
house.
did not go over well at
Yeah,
all.
that would not fly in this granny's
No,
house.
it did not fly here either. And I didn't even get a chance to do anything. Grandpa did.
Oh, good. Good, good, good.
Oh, yeah. So that wasn't fun. And then she got banned from the tractor completely. And then he told her to go over and sit underneath that tree, which she really didn't do. But boy, did she pout and have attitude. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, that was fun.
Speaking of kids who are monsters, should we tell our story about the monster kids we encountered on
Oh,
Wednesday?
sure. Yeah.
So we went the yarn store that we went to that was closed. We pulled in the parking lot. The parking lot was empty. We decided it was closed, so we were taking a brief moment to look at our passports and get the directions to the next shop up on our phone.
We're in the parking
And
lot.
we're in the parking lot of the business, and the parking lot's completely empty. It's raining outside.
Yeah.
And there's these two little boys. I would say they were probably 5 and 7.
Yeah, one was a little older than the other.
Yeah. Two little boys riding around in the puddles in the rain on their bicycles.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they didn't like the fact that we were infringing on their territory. So as I start driving to turn around to go out of the parking lot, the little guy gives us the finger. and I did a double take, and I said, "Mindy, did he just flip us off?" And then he gave us both hands.
Yep.
He gave us the finger.
Yep. We just sat there and we were like, "Are you kidding? Is he really doing that?"
Like, is that little boy giving us the finger?
Angie has stopped. She's not going anywhere. And we both just turned and we look at them and just stared at them like, really? And he's just sitting there looking at us like, yeah, well, we could not believe it. Oh my God.
If I ever found out my kids acted that way, they would have gotten a whooping to beat heck.
Oh man.
I say that, but I don't think I've ever spanked my kids. Just the threat of doing it has always been enough.
Right? Oh goodness. How you doing, Melinda?
Oh, wow, Lisa, that would scare me. Lisa said her son and nephew made them homemade tea from leaves they picked from the side of the mountain.
Oh, well, they must have known what they were doing.
I hope so.
They must have known what those leaves were. People do that stuff all the time. They know what is out there that you can pick and use, and different, medicinal.
And that's amazing that's amazing to me. Like, I was watching that show Alone, where the survivalists are in, like, I think it's Alaska, and they've got to survive in the wilderness it's like a contest for how long each of them can stay. And it's amazing to me the level of knowledge that those people have, that they can just look at something on the ground and know, that this has a lot of vitamin K or whatever.
Yeah, they learn it. Yeah, they definitely learn it. That's for sure. There are entire books of stuff that will help you learn what wild plants you can use for what purposes. I bought one for Dale at one point. He wanted one, so I bought it for him for a birthday or something. He's never used it.
Jeff got really into mushrooms for a while. He was on these Facebook groups for mushroom hunters and stuff like that. Because we do have a lot of edible wild mushrooms in Michigan.
I'm missing one strand and it won't cooperate.
Uh-oh.
Come on, you need to come with the rest of the crew here.
Right, Sherry? Me too. I like my tea from the grocery store.
Well, I don't drink tea.
Oh, they were Boy Scouts, Lisa. Well, that makes me feel better. Your next book is The Tea Goes Wonky. Is that your next book in book club?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're reading a book about a chick that she makes teas for people that they do like special, I think they do special things, you know? Like in the book we're reading right now, she makes a tea for the lady that has dementia.
Okay.
And it helps her to calm down.
Oh, okay.
So she has special powers with her teas, special things, not powers, but special ingredients, and she knows how to make them do things.
Gotcha.
But apparently in this book we're going to read, the teas are not doing what they're supposed to do.
Uh-oh.
So they're going to get all wonky. Listen to the poor dog.
Yes. Now she was being so good this whole time, sitting in her kennel, and now she's decided that she's had enough.
Yeah.
She's my grand monster dog.
Yep.
Mindy, oh my gosh. Mindy was here the other day and she did not stop barking the entire time. And I'm trying to tell her, I'm like, she really is a good dog. And she is. She's a very good dog, but she's, man, weird when people come over.
She finally settled down. As long as I didn't like try to pet her.
Right.
She didn't want me to pet her.
Which is so weird because she's a snuggle monkey. Like, she loves to snuggle with people. She's one of those dogs where if you're petting her and you stop petting her, she'll use her paw and grab your arm to make you pet her some more.
When she stopped barking, then she would come up to me and, you know, she'd get close to me. I put my hand down. She sniffed it. That was fine. She didn't bark. But then when I actually went to like pet her on the head, she was like, wow. Okay, never mind. I won't pet you.
And I think it's, you know, and she never used to be that way, you know, when she lived with Maddie in Austin, because they had company all the time. They had friends in and out of the house all the time. And she went on walks every day and interacted with people. But since she's been here, she doesn't go anywhere. She doesn't see anybody. So I think she's just becoming a little less socialized.
A little more territorial.
Yeah.
This is my home, and you're who are you, and why are you here?
Right. She is, Lynn, she's a super mutt. She's a super mutt. Yeah, Maddie got her DNA done, and she's mostly Australian cattle dog. She's Siberian.
And she looks nothing like an Australian cattle.
No, she doesn't. And she's a part German Shepherd, Siberian Husky, Lab, and there was one more that was up there. But I mean, there's like, she's a true mutt.
And the one I asked about,
Doberman, yeah.
Is Doberman. And
she's not no part Doberman.
And you would think that she would be.
Yep, because her coloring looks very Doberman.
Even her face a little. The shape of her muzzle.
Mm-hmm. I know she has a very small head, and Bo Duke has a very large head.
Mm-hmm.
And when they wrestle, Bo Duke can open his jaws and put her entire head in her in his mouth. It's funny.
I witnessed it. And then she tries to get him, and she got an ear.
Yeah. Yep.
She got his ear.
She's funny though, because you know what she does? She goes for his ankles. So
something she can get in her mouth.
Yes.
He's a lot bigger than her.
Yes.
And he's very fuzzy.
Yes, he is. He's a very fuzzy guy. He's a Siberian Husky and Lab mix. That's the only two.
So he's really fuzzy.
Yeah, that's all he is.
Fuzzy wuzzy guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now look at, now mine's waving. See?
Yeah, mine's starting to wave a little bit too at this point, which I think is going to be completely normal.
Yeah, it's okay. But all right. So it is 3:30. And my finger hurts.
I know, my thumb is killing me.
My finger hurts. So I think this is a good place to stop. But what are we going to try to get to? Just finish our rounds as big as we want our basket?
Finish your rounds as big as you want your basket to be around. And
this
then
is
next
quite a bit larger now.
and then next week we'll do our back loop row and get started working up the sides.
Yep. That sounds good to me.
Sound like a plan to everybody?
And remember, if you're here and you're interested, 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Yep, 9 o'clock tomorrow. It will go live.
We're going to have, both of us will have a video.
Yep.
And I will also
both have a link.
Yep, we will.
And you're also going to put it in the Facebook group, correct?
In my Facebook group, yep. Absolutely.
So there'll be lots of places to find the registration form.
Yes, absolutely. These are looking really good so far. I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. All righty.
All right, everybody.
Happy crocheting and finger dexterity exercises.
Right? Exactly.
Woo, we're going to need to do some stretches. Woo,
I'm going to need to do some muscle something.
Right. I'm telling you. Goodness.
All right.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Later.